hello. Didn't see you there. The return. I'm sure I did some variant of that meme back in the first time when I was playing Great Ace Attorney 1. But you never seen it in such high quality. Oh, the skills I have learned in streaming since way back then. Yeah. By the way, there was an earthquake right before stream, so I was a little bit late to stream today, just making sure that nothing fell off of my walls and shelves. I'm California. I'm legally obligated to tell everyone about earthquakes. And since I'm playing a lawyer game, I gotta follow the law. I'm imagining all those kicks is how it felt. Or rather, imagine, because that's what it felt like to me. Welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve. I apologize for not playing this game, for a long time. Schedules, life, all that stuff happening, but we're finally back into it, and we can finally avenge the death of our friend. Again, but the first time we did it, they eventually came back to life. I gotta be honest. I actually did. I held true to my word. I ordered fish and chips. Just for the inspector. Oh, he would have loved to see this. It was actually delicious, though. I got it from, of course, a local place. And it was just so perfectly fried. The chips were crisp, delicious, not too salty. The inspector would have been proud. You would have been proud. Ah. In memoriam, Inspector Tobias Gregson. 18-something to 18, possibly 19-something. Let's continue. Alright, let's hope I load the correct save file. Trial part... Is that correct? Trial part 1? Let me see. It's been a while. I guess so. Let's load it up. It was actually pretty good. I do wonder what we'll find out about his death this time, because last time the witnesses weren't too cooperative. I liked them, but I hated them, but I liked them. Ace Attorney finding new ways to make me feel internally conflicted. Or maybe that's just heartburn from the fish and chips. 2nd November, 12:33 p.m. The Old Bailey, Defendant's Antechamber. Fish are friends, not food. They can be both. Look, I'm a chicken, I know how it is. What's up, Gino? What's up, Sholmes? Oh, there you are, Nodo! What kept you, my dear fellow? Oh, Mr. Sholmes. Gina? You sure about what you said in there? That the boss, yeah, you know, actually died the day before? It's pretty hard to swallow. No comment on that. Look, I can go for the low-hanging fruit, but there's more to comedy than just making dirty jokes, like chickens. Thanks for the chickens, Dylan. Yes, I was shocked by the Revelation 2, Gina. As was I, possibly more shocked than both of you. It helps that I invented this portable electroshock generator. When does it shock you? Well, it's supposed to shock me whenever you come up with a devious explanation in court, Naruto. But it only shocks me now. There's a bug in it or something. It only shocks me when you say something really stupid. Did it shock you a lot? Oh, constantly. Not my fault. There must be really something wrong with it. It's not a competition, Mr. Sholmes. But I was more shocked than all of you put together. Not a competition, but not to toot my own horn. Playing some games? Yeah. Enjoy, worst company. This is the autopsy report in question, is it? Yes, it's strange that there's no time of death noted. Right, that was the issue. So, it's interesting to me that the coroner wouldn't even hazard a guess. There are ways to tell. I'm not sure. I've played so many murder mystery games that, I'm not sure what this game has explained. But there are definitely plenty of ways to tell how long a body's been dead. And they're all estimates. It's all about, temperature, how stiff the body is, rigor mortis. They said that part, I know. I suppose there's a simple explanation, or Perhaps it was a deliberate omission.
Oh dear. If it was deliberate, it puts me in mind of the last case we worked on. Dr. Scythe.
Speaking of which, since she couldn't be the coroner this time, I wonder if we'll know anything about this Maria Gori person. Maria Gori sounds like a Castlevania name. By the way, Konami announced there's going to be a Castlevania Advance collection. Or rather, it hasn't been announced, but it got leaked because it got raided in Taiwan or something. So, finally, I can play frickin' what's that game? All the Game Boy Advance games are super expensive right now. I know Druby played two of them?
It puts me in mind of the last case we worked on.
I know. Anyway, it seems that on the day before Lord Van Zix discovered his body... Discovered his own body? Wait. Inspector Gregson was investigating the Red-Headed League. So perhaps something happened with them. Or maybe he was trying to join them? Aria of Sorrow, that's the one. I'm just sorry I didn't remember it. Come to think of it. You had trouble with those League men too, didn't you, Mr. Sholmes? You were taken in by their trick. You know... No. He wanted to be taken in, but they recognized him. With how smart Sholmes is, he probably could have made, like, a potion that also morphs his face. Basically that poly-whatever potion from Harry Potter.
No. Naturally, I wasn't taken in, as you put it. My sleuth-hound interest was merely piqued slightly by the rare ascent of a weekly £4 income.
Painted, tempted by the money.
Who?
And that scent masked the underlying scent of deception, I suppose. Make sure not to fall for pyramid schemes. Is that what the Red-Headed League is? Kinda. That's what they were talking about, right? The fact that they were leeching money off of the members and then, like, promising it back. That's a pyramid scheme. Pro tip. You shouldn't have to pay in order to join a company. That's just, like, one of the big red flags.
The two criminals in question are the pair we saw being arrested yesterday, aren't they? In Mr. Sholmes' suite, I mean.
Why were they even there? Like, Sholmes was like, hey, since you guys recognize me, let's come to my place for tea, and also you're arrested. Sprint's my backup brain. Thank you, Sprint. You know I can count on you. You're like the cold storage system of my SQL database.
That's right, Sis. And it was me what took him in. Thanks to a tip-off by a good law-abiding citizen.
I wonder who that is.
Indeed. Yours truly. Oh.
Not sure about law-abiding. He's breaking laws that haven't been written into law yet. He's the kind of person that, like, they write laws in order to counter things he comes up with. Like, oh, it is illegal to misrepresent your hair color to join the Red-Headed League. Did I like playing War? I liked WarioWare Get It Together. I'm probably gonna stream that once more, but I have unlocked a lot of stuff since then. Just been grinding for coins, you know? I will say, I actually placed in that Wario Cup and got the gold cup. So, unfortunately I did off screen, but I got a score of like 6,000. Not bad. Not bad. Yeah, if anyone's watching Deltarune today, by the way, I announced earlier, but I'm gonna try to be playing that on Sunday. So, nobody spoil me. Something doesn't quite make sense to me, though. The day before Inspector Gregson was found, you hadn't had trouble with the Red-Headed League yet, had you? Why would the inspector have been investigating them? For his own reasons, I suppose. No rule that says a dog can't play. Sholmes, you gotta turn yourself into a dog. Just to air butt it up.
Well, the likely explanation would be that Gregson's own sleuth-hound interest was piqued by the rare scent of a weekly £4 income.
I think the police force paid Gregson fine, Sholmes.
Don't draw him with the same brush as you, Sholmes!
You know, they're more alike than you think. At least, last time we saw him. Yes, well, then there's the whole issue of Inspector Gregson being investigated by Lord Van Zix for some reason.
The Reaper, the Red-Headed League, Inspector Gregson, Lord Van Zeeks,
And Kazuma.
I feel as though he knew we'd arrive at this point somehow. Gosh, I think you're right.
What's he really trying to achieve here today? If it's prosecution, he's not doing the best job, but he's trying. Again, last time I kind of noticed it. You'd think it wouldn't stand out too much, but with as many Ace Attorney games as I've played, it becomes really obvious when a lawyer is acting like a defense attorney. There are cases in Ace Attorney where, you know, defense attorneys have had to be on the prosecution side sometimes. Prosecutors have had to be on the defense side sometimes. And, you know, they got their little quirks and everything.
All the answers will soon be revealed. Observe the time, my dear fellow. This recess will be over very shortly.
Yes, you're right.
We've just enough time to play dodgeball. No, I was thinking tetherball.
No, not tetherball again. Kazuma was determined that he should be the one to prosecute this trial. And he was determined that I should take the defense. Just what is it that he's hoping to make me see, I wonder? I get the feeling we're a long way from the end of this trial yet. Oh boy. I have a feeling we're going to be playing this game into October, but that's fine. I've scheduled around it already. Are you ready then, Mr. Zato?
Yes!
Yes, that's my line. Prices for the Castlevania games are pretty fine on the Virtual Console. Yeah, I just don't want to have to keep connecting my Wii U every time I want to play it. I still don't know where my Wii U gamepad charger is. I haven't really looked for it, but I hope I still have it. 2nd November, 1 p.m. The Old Bailey Courtroom. Ace Attorney Investigations 2. I haven't played it yet. I'm going to play it on stream. It just so happened that this came out first. But if this wasn't scheduled, I would totally be playing Ace Attorney Investigations 2 right now.
In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session again. We resume the closed court hearing of Baroque Van Zeeks, here present who stands accused of murder.
Murder!
Who said that?
Just me.
Conductor from Hut in Time?
Oh, yeah. You know, that's really me up there. He lived 100 years ago, apparently. I came here by time-traveling train. Didn't you watch Back to the Future Part 3?
Oh, Well, in any case, now then, Prosecutor Asogi.
My lord.
Have you summoned the witnesses as requested?
Yes. The 2 members of the Red-Headed League who planned and carried out the deception. They arrived not long ago from the local prison by police carriage.
Very good. Bailiff, usher the 2 men into the courtroom.
So it really is the 2 red-headed. The French and the Italian. As far as I assume from their accents before. I mean, also the fact that the short man is eating spaghetti. You know. These 2 men are currently being held by the police on suspicion of an attempted extortion. You may omit your occupations, but state your names now for the court. Huh, I wonder why. Trying to keep them anonymous? But this is a closed court anyway. Does that matter? I bet it still has a court record. Nick Tassa, thanks for the stream. You're welcome! I was mentioning before that this stream almost didn't happen today, but like I haven't played Ace Attorney, Great Ace Attorney 2 for a while now. I wanted to do at least one stream of it today. I am Fabien de Rousseau, a descendant of the great Rousseau family from Nice in France. Nice? Nice? Hold on. How do you pronounce that? Located on the French Riviera. Nice. Nice. Nice? Okay. Hold on, I gotta get really French for this one.
Oui, oui.
It helps that I played Psychonauts, and then there was that dude that was descended from Napoleon. A descendant of the great Rousseau family from Nice in France.
is a pepino de rossi. That's a food. That is definitely a food. I am the third son of the great familia de Rossi, the landowners from Napoli. The two men first became acquainted at a boarding school for the European nobility. Those who graduate from Temsic. Like, Ghost Trick? Oh, we got a Ghost Trick reference? Heck yeah. Capcom, acknowledge Ghost Trick. As the future leaders of Europe, Bob, do you have any idea how boring it is to be born with noble blood? A lot! I make it my mission to get the better of the world by employing the little gray cells of my brain. I'm jealous. I wish I had brain cells. That is all I am trying to do, huh? So, that's the only reason for this whole grand deception you've been carrying out? Oui, you could say that. Not bad, eh? Yes, the grand ideals, but the petty plans. This strange combination is the charm of the hilarious brothers. Si, capo. Listen to me, Peppino. I have two things to say to you. Eh? Che? Are you about to tell me one of your grandi anecdotes? Evviva! Man, I didn't know it was possible to be more Italian than the hot air balloon dude, but here we are. More Italian than Mario. Firstly, I want you to stop calling me this capo. And secondly, we are not the hilarious brothers. This is serious business. Che bello! There it is! The capo's trumpa card! The furrowed brow! I don't have a webcam, but I'm still doing the hand thing. It's just part of it. Honestly. It is deep, capo. The furrow and the meaning of your words. I don't plan to do much besides the trial today, so I'll press as much as I can see.
The court has been led to believe that under the banner of the Red-Headed League, you have conspired to swindle money from unsuspecting members of the public. Is this true?
You'd love a new port of Ghost Trick. The Capcom has proven that they have the assets to, like, rebuild Ghost Trick in HD. Because when they ported it to iOS, they actually re-rendered all the sprites from the DS version to higher resolution. If they did it again and ported it to Android, iOS now, and, you know, hopefully PC, Switch, PS4, all that stuff, then imagine how those sprites would look like in HD 4K. Dude, imagine the dancing detective dude in 4K. Those sprites would meme out the internet for years. Oh, it's so good. I have tried like 3 times to stream Ghost Trick, but, you know, I just wasn't big enough until now. Yeah. Oui, c'est ça. Okay, I need to like figure out how to pronounce that C with the thing at the bottom, because it's come up like multiple times already. If anybody knows, that'd be great.
And what exactly was the nature of this deception by which you planned to defraud?
Lord, I will explain it. No, capo, leave it to me. As you see, we both have the vivid red hair, no? At the school, we were teased for this without a pity. The capo here, he was many times behind the schoolhouse, crying like the Trevi fountain. Those dogs, one day they will respect us redheads. Every night, he would bury his head in his pillow and weep for injustice. C'est bien, Peppino, enough. I will explain the rest.
You know, I'm getting very similar vibes to the 10 pillar dudes. I think they're called the Skulkin brothers from the first game. Except this time, I don't think. Well, they're not actual brothers, unless they are. And then somehow one went to France and one went to Italy, but then they went to the same school. Don't worry about it. They're just you know some pair. Squeegee Bum, what's up? Welcome in. How you doing?
The first step was the newspaper advertisement. About 1 week before the plan was put into operation, we listed the same notice in every paper in London.
Yes, we saw that notice. What are you looking at? Really bad accents. I'm trying my best, y'all.
It was this one, I believe, entitled to The Red-Headed League.
Please? Okay. Kind of like an S sound.
C'est ça? I'm honored that you've seen it. It states that the only condition for joining the league is having flame-colored hair, and that if you satisfy the interview panel and are admitted into the league, you could receive a weekly income of £4.
Could. There's the legal wording there that makes this all possible. They must make it really strict. So, lots of people sign up hoping to get the £4. Maybe, everybody gets charged £1 as a membership fee. And then you might get the £4. So, to everyone signing in, they're like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna net 3. But really, nobody gets the 4. Brothers from different mothers. You got that right, Toadlink.
On the dates specified, a red-headed hopefuls gathered in droves at a park specified in the advertisement. And from each person present, this pair took an application fee of 5 shillings.
There you go.
And with the money to France. It was a plan most elegant, no? No, it was most dishonorable. But to be frank,
Nice to meet you, Frank. I'm Naruhodo.
I'm stunned anybody was foolish enough to be taken in by such an obvious trick.
Stairs knives into Shomes in the gallery right now. I mean, his plan wasn't that bad. You should just sell his hair dye as all natural or something. Sure, maybe it just makes all of your blood just seep into your follicles and that's how it becomes red, but it's technically natural? Yeah. Is that a leprechaun? No Irishman here, as far as I know.
The park was described by one witness as choked with red-headed folk, like a Custer's orange barrow.
A lot of oranges. That's a lot of oranges. What accent is that? I can't even do an American accent anymore. You'll never know what my native accent is.
And the day on which all these men gathered to apply was the day before the victim was discovered.
They very aren't brothers. Check their ages for Okay, I'm gonna guess the small one is 42. And the French one is... The small one and the French one. The French one is 27. Something totally unexpected. Oh, I forgot about Usopp. I missed them already. 26? 25? 25? I didn't expect... I don't... I'm gonna say I wasn't expecting him to be a kid. I don't even think he was a kid. He was described as a man this whole time. 25, 26, The fraudster behind the Red-Headed League swindle who was caught by Mr. Shomes. He derives from French aristocracy. A lackey of De Rousseau and conspirator in the Red-Headed League swindle, the third son of a great Italian landowner. Remember a Joan B? Oh, I remember Popeye. How do you explain the blue dye in the second attempt? Because he tried to, fix the original one? Oh, well, maybe it makes you... Because he had plans of becoming rich, it turned his blood blue. So then he had blue blood, and then that seeped into his hair and made it blue. Easy. Got him.
Crucially, these two men spoke face to face with every single person present that day. Oui, I have seen more red-headed people on one day than I will see in the rest of my life.
See, and now every time I see the Capo's hair, I feel sick to my stomach.
Anyway, why have we been summoned here today?
Sorry?
The date for our trial was not until tomorrow, I was told.
Peppino, sir, who allowed you to have spaghetti in here? Do they have spaghetti at the court, like, food area? If so, then it makes it way better than the one in Ace Attorney Investigations. You can only get cinnamon rolls.
Naturally, neither of these men have been told any details about this trial.
I mean, it makes sense.
They've only been shown this photograph. Very good.
It is still so disrespectful to put a wig on Gregson as a dead body, unless he was already wearing it. Who's older, Adron or Peppino? Take another guess. Well, the fact that you're asking me makes me want to say Peppino's older than Adron. See, the problem is I can't check Adron's age right now.
So, Mr. De Rousseau and Mr. De Rossi, you will now give your formal testimony for the court on the subject of the gentleman pictured in this photograph.
Of course, we are always ready to help the law.
23? 23? Adron B was 23? You know, some people don't win the genetic lottery.
Oop.
And Adron B won, I'll say, because his chin was just so strong. It just overshadowed how young the rest of him was. He looked so mature. The man in the photograph.
We had more than 1,000 red-headed people assemble in the park on Lime Street that day.
I'm trying really hard to not turn my French accent back into my German one. It happens.
But I don't recall the man in this photograph, eh, Capo?
No, I don't remember him. Obviously, he's dead now. But I assure you, he was not in the park.
Allora, this victim is nothing to do with us.
You have a lot to answer for, Peppino. It is your fault that we got caught in the first place.
All you had to do was accept Sholmes. You done goofed up. You done goofed up. You could have had the great Herlock Sholmes in your scheme. You could have had him as, like, the frontman advertisement for the Red-Headed League. Like, put him on the cereal boxes or whatever. The cereal boxes? Yeah, you have Redhead cereal. Oh, yeah. You know how Cocoa Puffs are advertised to turn your milk into chocolate milk? Well, you know, partner with Sholmes, get him to put that hair change color formula into the cereal, and then advertise like, it's the cereal that turns your hair red. Whoa! You'd make millions. Each box has 10 grams of Redhead. Wait a minute. What do you call it? They're called Crimson Grams. Ginger Snaps? Ginger Snap, Crackle, and Pop?
You've given sworn testimony that this man in the photograph was not present. Can you be certain? Oui, I'm quite certain. We did not interview this man.
Nobody looking like this came to the park. This I can promise.
It must be noted that you have been arrested for a grand deception, however. Accordingly, this court has little confidence in your assurances.
Oof! With this attitude, we get nowhere, huh?
You're lucky that there's no jury, or else you could have won them over with your wily, hilarious antic charms. He's really sulking now.
This confidential document was obtained directly from Scotland Yard. It records an entry from the inspector's private diary dated the day before the incident.
Cinnabar toast. I like it. I recently watched a YouTube video about someone who extracted liquid mercury from cinnabar, which is like an oxide of mercury or something, and it was really dang cool. That's it. I've just been watching so many chemistry videos lately. It all started with the same dude turning cotton into cotton candy.
It reads, Lime Street, Red-Headed League undercover.
Ah, I have the answer. Maybe there was another similar event in the park on the day in question, eh?
That is ridiculous. There's no question that Inspector Gregson was investigating the Red-Headed League. Which means it's quite possible that that's when he was killed.
So here's what I'm thinking, just offhand. The game is presenting it as if he was hot on the case of some maybe conspiracy, or he was investigating their scam. But I really want Sholmes to be right in that maybe Gregson also wanted the 4 pounds. Because, you know, if he's living all the way over in some, like, cheap, fake home-based apartment with no furniture in it, maybe, like, they said that he has his own home, but if he has a second home, maybe he is running low on cash. Maybe he was buying fish and chips. Maybe he needed the money.
Very well. The defense may proceed with the cross-examination now.
Yes, my lord.
Show him the cereal, let's go. The man in the photograph. Alright, well, let's press everything. That is actually impressive that he's spinning his glasses on that chain there. Hold it! How does that stay on his face, though? Glasses like those? I know they exist. Do they just, like, clip onto the bridge of your nose? That seems painful. Like, I wear regular glasses, and the nose rest just, like, you know, they're just killer on my beak. 1,000 people? That's a very big crowd. Can that many people fit in a park?
It was quite a spectacle. Redheads had come over from all over the capital.
See, the capo here, he has the magnetismo animale, eh?
Magnetismo animale. That's me. I got the magnetismo, de pollo.
Nobody else could attract so many people. If I could be born again, I would be the capo.
All those people wanted was the money, Peppino. The 4 pounds per week.
Are you suggesting that you spoke personally with all 1,000 applicants?
How long would that take?
Oui, that we did. Because every one of them paid us 5 shillings.
Bet it pays for that spaghetti.
Spaghetti. We take the names and we take the money. And then we take the addresses as well.
Just like Google.
And I tell them we take some days to let them know by a post. Finito. Maybe 2 minutes a person?
2 minutes. 1,000. Do the quick math here. 2,000 minutes divided by 60. That would alone take 33 hours. That's more than a day.
We start early in the morning and we stop late in the night.
So, you earned 5,000 shillings in one day? That's a small fortune.
You know, if they split it between them and they like each interviewed, then they could cut that time in half. So it would only be like, you know, 16 something hours. Not bad.
Who'd have thought that there were 1,000 such gullible redheads in London to start with? One of whom was a great detective with chemically altered hair.
But I don't recall the man in this photograph. Capo?
Hold it!
But taking his money sure makes me laugh. And what the heck is what's up with the Herlock Sholmes' head?
He doesn't look at all familiar.
No, I don't think so. And this is a wig, eh? He was trying to trick us. I do not like the people who are trying to trick the other people.
Says the con artist.
Takes one to know one.
If between them they interviewed 1,000 people with red hair, it would be unreasonable to expect them to remember every face.
No, signore. I may be small, but my memory is very large. I never forget a thing.
That's the problem. That's why my memory is so bad. I need to be smaller. Be right back, getting a shrinking ray. I'm sure Sholmes could invent one.
In my opinion, I do not think this was a man in the park.
But he's not going to give the code a definite, it seems.
Like, did you not... If he was wearing some sort of disguise, that could be my line of thinking why he didn't recognize him.
Hey, Capo. You didn't see a man like this, huh?
No, I don't remember him.
Hold it! Now what makes him so sure?
According to what you said, you spoke with 1,000 or more people that day. Oui, that's true. My eyes were burning by the end of the day. Surely then you can't actually remember every single face. How are you so certain that this particular man wasn't present?
Normally the red hair is very distinctive, eh? But not when you have 1,000 redheads crowding around. That is just an eyesore.
It's like going to a HD TV display in a modern Best Buy. It's always, you ever notice like the videos that they show to show off the TV's color? It's always red that they show off. You got these bright red flowers and crayons and dresses, and it just it makes it feel like my eyes are bloodshot with how much red I'm seeing. It's so red, I can see it, and I'm colorblind. That's how red it is.
But if there was some other information you could have gave us, maybe then we would call.
Oh, I've got information. Fish and chips. You guys remember fish and chips? Fish and chips. I guarantee you he was eating fish and chips.
That is not the line, Peppino. Remember, we do not remember him. We are sure of that fact, huh?
Remember, we do not remember.
Yo, Cosmo, you didn't prepare these. He's learning. Guys, Cosmo is learning how to be a prosecutor. He's preparing the witnesses and telling them to lie. Whoa, I'm so proud.
But it's so obvious they're lying.
If there was a man with a red hairpiece, but his mustache did not match the color, then I do not think I could have forgotten him. Kazuma said these two had only been shown that photograph and they'd been told nothing else at all. What if I fed them just one other detail about the victim? For example...
Wait, hold on. I'm gonna say something wrong on purpose. Because I want to press the rest of the statements. So I'm gonna say his name. Also, I'm not totally sure whether or not Kazuma told him to lie or not. It's a possibility. I'm gonna say, what if you remember his name?
I can certainly appreciate that just knowing the man had red hair wouldn't help you remember in this situation. But what if I told you that the man's name was Gregson? The man in the photograph is a Monsieur Gregson?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Names, they are boring. I did not listen to any of them.
Oh.
It was not a real interview, huh? It was just for show. Why would I remember the names?
That's right, this changes nothing. The man in the photograph was not there, as we've already said.
I see.
It seems there's little to be gained from pursuing this point further.
Tell them again what you said before, Peppino. Si, Capo, si. I say it again and again.
So let me just save real quick, just in case they accidentally progress, because I am known to do that. Rotate. How many saves do I get? I might... Oh, no, yeah, I'm about to fill them up real soon. It's okay, we're close to the end of the game.
Allora, this victim has nothing to do with us.
Baby's first shady deal. Oh, Kazuma. Kazuma. I mean, Asogi.
But we have only your word for that.
See, but what else can we do, huh?
True.
Oof, we are not having much fun these days. First we are arrested, then we are shown the horrible picture of a dead man. And now you question every single thing we say? We are the victims here.
In that case, consider everyone I've ever cross-examined in court a victim, because your well-being suffers from my dialogue reading.
Hey, Capo.
Now you are caught carrying out a plot to swindle hundreds of innocent people.
Oof. Oof. You had to bring that up, eh? It's not fair. Ay, capo.
Fish it and a chip it. I will after this one.
You have a lot to answer for, Peppino. It is your fault that we got caught in the first place.
Hold it.
What do you mean by that? I just really like to say Kazuma. Dylan's got it because Kazuma Kiryu.
Kazuma-chan!
Capolo, you promised not to say. Ay, capo.
After we had taken all the money that day, we should have left the country. That was my plan. I left the purchasing of the tickets for the ferry to Dunkirk to my companion. But he bought them for the wrong day.
Oops. Why am I saying oops for them?
See, but it's an easy mistake to make, huh? The 1st, the 31st. I bought the tickets for February 31st.
I don't think you're getting that right. February 31st.
I have no sympathy for you. We were an whole day late for the boat because of your stupidity. And it's only because of this that Sicko, so-called great red-headed detective, caught us.
Capo, you know what I think? This is the work of a god. It's a holy punishment, eh?
Peppino, for the last time, this is not only punishment. This is only your fault. Don't blame God for your unholy mistakes. You're making me sick with anger.
There it is. It's German again.
Humph. Maybe I make a mistake. But when it's time to eat the pasta, no one is a pasta. Ha ha! Hoo-hoo.
Just every time I have to do the rim shot button, it's just like a trophy that gets passed from person to person. My goal in stream is to always take the trophy back from the characters in the game. And I've seen the evidence. I'm hungry now. I ate fish and chips yesterday. Now I need to eat some spaghetti. Oh! And with the end of a cross-examination, we have chickens, of course. They need to feed on the lies. Eat them all up so that only the truth is left. Question for the chat. What's your favorite kind of pasta? I like... It's something I only found out once I actually went to a restaurant that had it, but I actually really like Brazilian pasta because it's creamy, but it's not like straight up Alfredo. It's like creamy and tomatoey, and you know, they serve it with that Brazilian bread that has the cheese in the middle. Oh, so good. I haven't had it in a while though. You know what? I think I know what pasta I'm getting. They haven't told us much we didn't already know. But fish and chips though.
What do you think, Mr. Naruto?
Well, if it was in the inspector's diary, it seems likely that he must have gone to Lime Street that day. And yet they don't claim it. Okay. Real quick, does anybody in the chat remember which statement I pressed to get the question, oh, if I feed them information? I want to say fish and chips. Whether that's right or wrong, I want to say fish and chips. Ba-da-do. Da-da-da. You like all pastas, don't eat them often. Fair, that's a lot of carbs. I think it was this one.
Hold it!
Huh. Don't say anything about Deltarune Chapter 2. I'm not gonna play it for a while. It's gonna be very hard to just stay off of social media, because I know people will already be memeing it by tonight. According to what you said, you spoke with 1,000 or more people that day. I've already asked my mods that when I play Deltarune Chapter 2, be extra vigilant for spoilers. Because, you know, it's gonna happen. Lasagna. I like lasagna a lot. People forget it's a pasta, but it's like layers upon layers, and it makes me feel like Garfield when I eat it.
Oui, that's true.
Burning eyes, give you information.
Pescado y frito.
I can certainly appreciate that just knowing the man had red hair wouldn't help you remember in this situation. What if I told you that the man was always munching on a packet of fish and chips? You remember a man who was eating incessantly? Not really. I was only looking at the aids of the applicants. Well, you know, you eat with your mouth. That's on your head. I wouldn't have noticed the fish and chips any more than the caviar and smoked salmon. Fancy.
Oh, the spaghetti! Me, I love the spaghetti!
I can tell. Really, I had no idea. I love these guys. See? Unlike the last witnesses, like, they were amazing characters, don't get me wrong. It's just, they were just fighting me for no reason other than to be difficult. These guys, I can tell they have an ulterior motive.
Tell them again what you said before, Peppino.
Oh, wow. Well, I guess it's a profession then. I actually really thought it was going to be the fish and chips.
Hold it!
Although, if it's his profession, why would Gregson straight up tell them that he is a police detective, huh? That's odd to me. Like, if he's wearing his red wig, or if he wasn't, I'm thinking he must have gone up to them while not wearing a red wig because they only remembered people having red hair. They said if they had mismatched hair, mustache, and hair, then they would have noticed. Wait, I pressed the wrong thing.
Hold it!
So he must have actually gone to them straight up as Inspector Gregson, told them he was an inspector, and was not wearing a wig. Okay. Now what does that mean for me? What if I told you that the man in the red hairpiece was actually a detective?
The man in the photograph, a detective?
Yes.
It would appear that he found your notice in the paper suspicious, kinda sus, and decided to investigate incognito. He opened a new incognito tab on his Google Chrome so that you wouldn't steal his address.
Whoa, it all came together. Miss Weinreb, how you doing?
Eh?
Hold on. I'm not gonna pursue that right now.
Sorry, but this changes nothing. No detective came to the park. I am certain of that.
Welcome on in, Ivy. Get comfy and hope you chill out.
I see. In any case, if such a man had come incognito, he wouldn't have just said I am a detective, would he?
Well, no, I suppose not.
Sound logic, I must agree.
I guess he was wearing the wig.
Tells him again.
Okay. Now this time, I shall pursue the truth. Rib is late. Don't feel bad, we're not that late. We just started interrogating these fine two gentlemen. If I may use that word for them. Sarcastically, of course. We're finding out why exactly Tobias Gregson would have come up to them to apply, to investigate them.
Hold it!
Whatever it is, we gotta weasel it out of them. They claim to not remember Tobias. But then what do they remember? Alright. Hope you're doing well, Wine Rib. Hope you're doing well, Ivy. Welcome. How's it going? Got any plans for the weekend? Profession. My plans? Just properly celebrating my birthday, eating lots of sushi, drinking Cactus Cooler. It's a soda that only exists in California, basically. I found a 12-pack at my local grocery store, so I'm like, you know what? Happy birthday to me. What's up, kid? Kid, 25, same thing. Excuse me. Something to add, Mr. De Rossi. Peppino.
Okay? See, I am always adding something. Parmesan, olive oil, pepper.
What I mean is, Did you not agree with your friend's last remark by any chance? If you're going to add any condiments, why don't you add salt to my wounds while you're at it?
Eh? What did he just to say? About the detective?
Yes, that.
Keep your mouth shut, Peppino. You said enough already.
Why the heck you lying? Why the heck you lying? But why, Capo? What is the problem? There was a man who said, I am an inspector from Scotland Yard.
What?
Good Lord!
Got him. He's standing on a box. He's standing on a wooden box.
Order! 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 Explain this volte-face in your testimony. Volte-face in your testimony, witness.
I'm assuming that is Italian for bold lie?
It's simple. A man who was at the box said was that
There was no such man.
Madai, what are you saying, Capo? Have you forgotten, eh?
I've forgotten nothing. Nobody likes this fantasy fuck.
Basta, Capo, basta! You beat me at many things, but not two. The memory and the meals.
You definitely beat him at lying, though.
Like I said, when is the time to eat the pasta? No one is faster.
Man, I should open an Italian restaurant and make that my slogan. I'll make Peppino here my mascot as well. Can I just buy the character from Capcom? I'm gonna put it on Capcom. Continue making Ace Attorney games, or I will buy all your IPs. They have to defend it at that point.
But you are inferior to me in every other way, so shut up!
Objection! It's closer to about face. Oh, okay. You got the whole court slapping.
Trop tard, the damage is done.
Indeed it is, sir.
Oui, there was a man who came to the park and said he was an inspector from Scotland Yard. However, he looked nothing like the man in the photograph. He was someone else.
How could you be so sure?
Because, to start with, his face was completely different.
See, it's true, it's true. The man who came was younger. His face was clean shaven. His eyes were sadder. His chin was thinner.
Okay, this is just a guess, but... Eyes were sadder, chin was thinner, looked younger. I wonder. I'm actually wondering if every time we've seen Gregson, maybe he was wearing some sort of prosthetic on his chin? Hiding his actual bone structure? Did they do that? A character we've seen since the first game?
No resemblance whatsoever, then.
Anyway, I was not going to be fooled. I took the obvious precaution and said to him, if you are really a detective, show us the proof.
See, the capo here, he doesn't take no nonsense, eh?
But he was well prepared. He said he had identification.
Identification? You mean official police inspector's identification?
That is most unconvincing.
Sorry, my lord.
That accident's terrible identification. Counsel, no incognito inspector would offer his identification for the inspection. It's quite out of the question.
Definitely. Why would he expose his true identity? Clearly, the papers were fake.
Certo, capo, you are a genius. As we say in Italia, it takes a thief to recognize an answer, eh?
And what happened after he announced he was a detective?
He became very annoying. He said, you are under investigation. So I took his papers from him and chased him out of the park.
Do you have them? Can I have them?
Yes.
I'm about to look up and down these papers as if they were a issue of the latest Evidence Monthly magazine. Swimsuit edition. What?
It was a fantastico! And look, here is the identification!
So you stole it from the man.
He had it coming! He made us very scared! But he was not who he said he was.
Indeed. The person described does not appear to have behaved as a true inspector would. However, I believe it would be prudent for these identification papers to be entered into evidence.
But I liked him.
Shouldn't have brought him to court, dude. Evidence Monthly, just a bunch of bloody bikinis. Oops. There you go, swimsuit edition. Of course. Inspector's identification be added to the court record. Look, if Ace Attorney is anime, then clearly there needs to be a beach episode. You know, that was kind of the first trial in this game. You know, with the little beach changing hut.
Now let us return to the witness's testimony.
Now let's see. New evidence must be inspected from head to tail. Alright, prepare yourselves, guys. If there's a photo in here, police warrant card. Well, I suppose we should see what this inspector's identification looks like inside. No picture. My heart was beating, unless it's on a different page. Let's see, ID 997. Do we have anything of Gregson's that identifies his ID? Identifies his ID. 2-1 honorary beach episode. That's what I was thinking. The fan service was killing Giselle Brett. Aww. Yes, it definitely looks fake, doesn't it?
Out of interest, what name is given?
Probably just something plucked out of the air. It's Tobias Gregson. Wait, what?
This Scotland Yard insignia looks genuine to me.
But how?
And the department and identification number details are correct as well.
Since when have you known those? How do you know those? I was looking for evidence to compare it to. You mean to say?
I know it seems incredible, but yes. I think this is a genuine identification book issued by Scotland Yard.
But that's unbelievable. This is the real thing after all? Could have been stolen from him, maybe. I wonder. Any other information? So, two possibilities. Either the person who met with them actually was Tobias Gregson, or they stole Tobias Gregson's ID, basically. Just save real quick in case I accidentally do something wrong, and congratulations to me. I have filled up every save slot in the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. The last slot I'm saving for my replay of 1. Yeah. Alright, so which of these statements is probably the one that says the one from the French dude? Nah. I tried this one. Nothing to do with us. It's simple. It's usually the simple ones that need to get contradicted.
Objection!
There you go. There you go. There you go. There's another possibility. Don't say there's a possibility that he was a chicken. I wonder if I could ask you to examine this identification book very closely. Miss Lestrade? Gina! Why, Miss Lestrade? Because she knows Toby?
What is your intention here, Counsel?
Is this really a fake or is it genuine? That's the question, which we can't answer ourselves.
Objection!
Don't object. She's an inspector, as qualified as any other.
Don't be ridiculous.
No Scotland Yard detective would allow his or her identification to be stolen, unless, you know, he was dead.
Howdy! That is the boss's! No question about it!
It can't be! Colonel! As I suspected. The undercover detective who attended the Red-Headed League's enrollment on the day in question was the real Inspector Gregson, carrying out an incognito investigation.
Zoodalaws!
He's on the ground. I love it.
Order!
But if the boss had his identification stolen, he would have reported it straight away. I mean, he was always on at me about it. If he lose something, report it at once, he'd say.
He's dead!
Could it be then that the inspector was physically unable to report it?
Basically, huh? I thought you were saying.
Okay. Okay, conspiracy theories aside, if Daily Vigil, I had to remember his name for a second, is Tobias's murderer and stole his identity and immediately tried to pass himself off as him, that is a ballsy move. You know, it was very different back then. It wasn't as simple as stealing a social security number.
Unable to? You're not suggesting?
Yes, it's quite possible that he was killed before he had the chance to report his identification stolen.
Dead! Oh no!
No! No! Order!
The defense posits, I like that word, that the victim was killed the day before his body was discovered at a different location. Do you two have anything to say about that?
I know nothing. Oh, I don't know nothing.
Pull yourself together, Bevino! Mon Dieu, you can behave a little more like a master criminal than that, no?
Now I wish I had a return to Italia.
Stop crying, Bevino! Please! Otherwise,
No, man, stop your whining and start talking.
Well,
You can't fool me with those crocodile tears.
I know nothing. Wait, I don't know nothing. Wait.
I believe the court will need to hear your story in considerably greater detail.
Cry babies. But you will tell everything, or face the worst possible outcome.
I guess they are brothers after all.
You will dry your eyes and testify again about these identification papers and the precise circumstances under which you came by them.
Crying out loud. I need a noise complaint, man. The detective and the identification.
The truth is, we took him prisoner and kept him for the night at a secret hideout. Even though I didn't think he was a real detective, I was too scared to let him go that day, just in case.
We took the man's identification from him and shut him in the room next to ours.
There might have been a little tussle, but we did him no harm. And the next morning, we went let him go.
He spent the night in the nice room. It was nothing like prison.
Jeez. Cried more than April May trying to act all innocent. I can't see. There are tears in my eyes from acting out the crying. Hold on, I need to like blink a couple of times.
This is outrageous! You imprisoned the man?
I'm sure that's illegal in and of itself.
But no, see, no! It was not like a prison. He was very comfortable and calm and happy.
Yeah, you know, just like Bowser keeps trying to make Princess Peach feel comfortable while she's kidnapped. What's that thing he said in Paper Mario? Ask if you need the Wi-Fi password.
Ay, capo.
It was never a part of my plan, I swear it.
Oofa, so you think it was my fault, eh? Just because I got the date at the ferry wrong, yeah? By one little day.
I do not think it was your fault, Peppino. I know it.
No. Por favor, capo. It is not fair.
I know everything, now tell me. You shall have plenty of time for squabbling back at the prison, gentlemen.
You think they were put in the same cell?
Oof!
Oof.
I don't believe this. How could he have been a real detective?
They were cellmates.
What?
I mean, they already share a brain cell. What more is a prison cell?
Counsel for the defense, proceed with the cross-examination.
So on the day before the incident, Gregson spent the night confined in this pair's hideout. Quote-unquote Gregson. Oh, look at that. I hadn't noticed it before. That eye cut out for Asogi. See, this is probably why there's no jury, because they want to get right to the meat of, okay, they're lying, find out what they're trying to hide. Up until now, the jury has served the purpose of making it seem like everything is hopeless until I just pull some little thread of logic out of my butt, pull on it until I've unwoven my entire pants, and then it distracts the court so much that I find the truth. Now I can't do that. I gotta dispant manually.
Hold it!
Do you realize what you're saying? You have to believe me, I never intended for that to happen. And I'm sure the detective did not intend it either.
Do you think? Do you think at all?
But there was nothing else I could do.
See, nothing else. This was the first crime for the capo. He was at the end of his wits.
I have told you before, Peppino. That is not the way to describe a criminal mastermind. What about this hideout of yours? An old empty house behind the park on Lime Street.
We rented the place for 2 days. It was an inspired idea for the capo here.
Oh, so that's the apartment. It's theirs.
An impressive idea, I would say.
No, not impulsive, inspired. Capo?
What am I supposed to say to that, Peppino?
And it wasn't the house described that you confined Inspector Gregson, was it? Well, house, not flat. Oh.
Oh, oui. But you have to remember, I was under the impression that he was a pretender, not a real inspector.
That doesn't quite add up, though. If you didn't think the man was a real inspector, there would have been no reason to take him prisoner, would there? See, why were they so scared? That's what I want to know.
No, you are right. But we couldn't be completely certain. Even though I didn't think he was real.
Hold it!
So just keeping him long enough that they'd already been out of the country by the time any actual investigation started, huh?
Too scared? Why? Because why had he come to the park? We didn't know. There was a chance that he had seen through my plan.
And if that was the case, he would go straight to the police station to blow the whistle on us. Even if he was just feigning to be an inspector, he was up to no good, without a doubt.
I think most people would agree that it is you two who are up to no good. Pretty no good. You're pretty bad at being up to no good.
Well, I see, you may be right, Capo.
The point is, we were not able to escape from England immediately. That is why we had no choice but to take the man prisoner. What I don't understand is why the inspector felt the need to show you his identification in the first place.
See, I ask myself the same question.
You were writing down the names and addresses of all the people who took 5 shillings. We took 5 shillings from that day. I've forgotten what name he said, but the address, it startled me.
See, address is Scotland Yard, beside the division, he said.
That's not where a person lives. Okay. I'm thinking maybe Vigil stole it, has no idea how addresses work, and just wrote down the first thing he saw in the freaking ID card. What do you mean? What? He lives there. He lives at the yard. Look, that's where they get the fish and chips. By frying up prisoners' wood. They had the freshest meat.
He probably didn't like your face, Peppino. Anyway, I was not rude. I just politely asked him why he had said it. And that's when he started to say he was an inspector. Not long afterwards, he took out his identification. What was Inspector Gregson playing at? Tell the court what happened next. You took him back to your hideout, you say.
Did he come willingly? Did you, like, grab him and force him there?
See, we did.
What does it mean?
Hold it!
That being this identification book here, correct?
See, that is the one.
What made you believe that it was a forgery?
I never seen a real one, of course. But he was so suspicious, this man. Allora, I was thinking it must be falso, Capo?
It is just as Peppino has said. We are convinced it was not genuine.
And so together, the hilarious brothers, we took the man captive.
All we did was shove him inside a locked room.
Hopefully gave him, like, food. A place to go party.
Then we made preparations to transport all of the money.
In for a penny, in for a pound. I don't know what these two are playing at. This is all sorts of ridiculous.
What do you mean by a little tussle exactly? Both, it was nothing. Just a minor incident.
Shoved him in a room. Yeah, just like brought him up there. You gotta imagine how hard it must be to like carry a struggling adult human being upstairs without, you know, them at least somewhat wanting to be captured? Maybe that's the thing. Okay, maybe it's not upstairs. Okay, I'm being dumb. The apartment that Gregson was found in was probably his base because it had all his conspiracy notes in there. They're just talking about a house that they had.
He falso inspected. He was a real piece of the work, Capo.
What happened?
Oof, it was a disaster. We gave him a nice room, and what does he do, In the middle of the night, he tries to escape to the ventilatore.
Can you blame him? We chased him, bien sûr, and we caught him again.
Can you blame us?
Yes.
Wait, you didn't shoot the man in your ace, did you? Who do you think we are? Americans? You of course not.
They didn't even say they had a gun.
I simply got told of him again and took him back to the room.
Hello? Daydreaming about that sketty. Look, he's got a little pasta sauce on his lips. I'm gonna listen to the rest of the testimony, though.
There was really nothing more to it than that? And the following morning you let him go, you say?
Who chased him? That's my question. Does Peppino run that fast? I guess it's Rousseau saying that he's the one who did it. They're kind of just acting as a dual entity at this point.
Correct, and it was an amicable parting. There was no trouble.
Why would he just happily run off?
See, we shake the hands and say, let's do it again, huh?
Not a whiff of perjury here. You can smell perjury? Yo, Ryunosuke. Tell me when you do that. Could have been the next new gimmick for the Ace Attorney series. First, sensing a bracelet whenever people lie, sensing emotions. You just smell the perjury. Would have been real nice.
Hold it!
It took away the man's freedom. However comfortable you make it sound, you were still holding him prisoner.
If you say that, then I say it is. There is something that takes away our freedom too. The lack of money.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we are the prisoners as well, huh? All of us.
Philosophical, but not applicable in a court of law. Huh?
No money, no freedom. This is the truth. Down with the capitalism. It makes me mad, and it makes me sad. What can we do? I'm a mad sad. I'm a mad sad lad. But I'm not from Trinidad.
Well... If you feel so disenfranchised, take money to court, though it'll cost you, of course.
Oof, there you have it. You see, that is why we need a Red-Headed League. To fight for the justice. For great justice.
Perhaps he has a point.
No, Mr. Naruhodo.
All we did was to give them...
Just no. That's it, he doesn't have a point.
All we did was to give the man a comfortable place to sleep for the night. And you say it was a prison, huh? Huh?
Smell the darkness like Riku. Miss Weinrub, how do you know I was just watching somebody play Chain of Memories just the other day? I literally saw the scene where Riku's like, I can smell the darkness. Like, what does that smell like? Moldy cheese? Something like that, I imagine.
Huh. Perhaps he has a point again.
No again, Mr. Naruhodo.
So glad Susato can read my thoughts.
Darkness.
Darkness?
Darkness.
You should have heard him snoring. If anyone was disturbed, it was us.
Smells like strawberries. Strawberries are light, though.
Not much to go on, really.
Testimony does make me wonder, you know.
About this pocket watch belonging to the inspector, I mean.
Ah, yes, the one he treasures so much.
He was confined but not restrained as the witnesses are implying. He would have been able to wind his watch.
Very true.
Did the Inspector Gretz actually die while he was being held captive?
Die while he was being held captive? What? Poison?
In which case, is it possible that these two young men are responsible for Inspector Crixon's? To be honest, I find that hard to believe. Perhaps we should try to find out exactly what happened.
Curious and curious,
Hold it!
Oops. That was me accidentally pressing the ZL button. I really wish that they had somehow kept the ability to yell the word objection in order to object. Like, have it connect to the Nintendo online service that they use for voice chat just to have microphone input so I can actually yell, objection! There. I've now said it. If anyone ever makes an Ace Attorney fan game starring me, you have that clean clip right there. Might have to separate out the music, though. Objection! Okay. What was the one where Peppino sounded like, ah?
Hold it!
I think it was this one.
Yes. Nice, France.
There you go.
Adio.
Excuse me. Slap. And again I say. Again I say. There you go. Mr. De Rossi, is something wrong?
Me?
Something Mr. De Rosso said. De Rossi, De Rosso. This is getting confusing. Just said seemed to make you, well, it seemed to make you act even more strangely than usual. What was that all about?
Follow. At times like that, you don't wanna have the capo after you, believe me. And I speak from the personal experience.
Personal experience? That is enough, Peppino. There is no need to say more.
The truth is, the night before we put the Red-Headed League plan into action, I was scared. It was not fair to the capo, but I tried to run away.
It is a shame you didn't manage it. Maybe Inspector Gregson would be alive.
Hey! Mamma mia! Don't look at me like that. But the capo here, he came after me like the turbine, huh? And he dragged me back to the house, kicking and screaming. I still have the bruises to prove it, capo? Look at this, it's as red as my hair.
Bruises, you say?
To shreds, you say?
You wanna see, huh? You wanna see my fantastical bruises?
I kinda don't want to. Also, I just can't stop looking at your cheeks, they are jiggling. Don't take that out of context. I will want to press the new statement after this one. Well, I'm going to. It's the only statement I haven't pressed yet, so yes. That's enough now, Peppino. No one wants to look at any part of you.
What to do, huh? I assure you or I don't. I assure you or I don't.
Take these off a flower, then we'll know. Nice physics.
You do! Now!
Allora, if everybody wants to see it, then I do it. Ecco, you see? It's still very visible, eh?
Jeez. That red ring around your neck. Ah, that is... Whoa. Very apparent. A red ring around your neck? You got that when you were dragged back to the house? What, were you dragged with a rope? Did he have to lasso you? Yippee-ki-yay, mother lover.
See, the capo, sometimes he is very rough.
What is these two's relationship? Maybe I don't want to know. I say that's enough? Enough? Peppino's neck is nothing to do with what we are talking about here? You have my word?
Yes, what is your opinion, Counsel?
My opinion is that these two be cray. But this red ring about Mr. De Rossi's neck, I wonder, does it matter? When in Ace Attorney has it ever been correct to say wait and see? I actually want to know, has that been a thing? I don't remember. I don't think so. It's important. Mr. De Rossi, I'm going to have to ask you to amend your testimony with details about that mark on your neck. Never thought I'd say that.
Hey, capo, you see? Everyone is interested in what I say, huh?
Oh,
Don't shame them for their private time. I'm just saying that I need to ring them for as much detail as they can get in their testimonies.
very well. You will amend your testimony as requested, Mr. De Rossi.
I just need to make sure not to leave any new bruises.
See, if you really wanted to know.
Iron Guy says, oh, you know what? You're right. And that's the only time I can even think of be applicable. You know, there's at least one. Alright, I'll take that one. I also didn't say, just in case I play that trial on stream and people on the YouTube don't want to get spoiled for it. He's just so proud. So proud of that mark. Look at him just presenting it like that.
Hold it!
I'm leaving mental bruises. That's fine. It doesn't show up in the autopsy report. Unless, you know, they were a psychonaut. They got that little door and just went inside their brain. Could you imagine what it would be like to psychonaut inside one of an Ace Attorney witness's brains? I want to go inside frickin', I don't know, April May's mind. No, maybe I shouldn't. At least not while I'm live on stream. I'll get banned from Twitch. Are you saying that that red mark was caused by...
See, a big collare made from a leather.
I mean, I guess? A leather collar?
Oh my. Is this true, Mr. De Rousseau?
What? We had a St. Bernard at home when I was younger. It is a souvenir from that time with a very strong chain. Frickin' put a dog collar on him.
Did it have a letter B on it?
Strong chain?
And you put that around your friend's neck? Nice.
I'm sorry, I was so angry that he was leaving me alone. You did not have to tie the chain to the leg of the bed, or the leg of a bed?
I don't know if this is supposed to be some sort of intentional innuendo now. I'm trying not to point it out, but oh. Oh my. Well, you know, if 'tis such a thing they do in their private time, who am I to judge? Who am I to judge? You know, as long as they're respecting each other's boundaries.
I would not have tried to run again.
You didn't do that to Inspector Gregson as well, did you? Is this what the Red-Headed League does? Sholmes, you have dodged a bullet.
Did I? Treat the people equal, is the capo's here motto, eh?
It's starting to sound a lot more like a prison all of a sudden.
Or a dungeon. Yep. Dungeon.
The capo is a tough, but the capo is a rough.
Oh, I shouldn't have done it.
I gave the internet ideas. It's never good to give the internet ideas.
So, the following morning, when you released the inspector...
He had the red ring around his neck just like me.
Pino, s'il vous plaît. Leave it. Now.
Sorry, what's the internet?
Oh, you know, it's a thing we have in France. We are hiding it from the rest of the world for 100 years. New conspiracy theory. France had the internet way before anyone else did. And they used it to conduct the French Revolution. Yeah. Let them eat cake? No. Let them clear their browser's cookies.
Now you know, huh? The capo here, you don't want to tangle with him, eh? But for the inspector, it is not so bad.
There's a perfectly reasonable explanation, right? Well, I mean, they said it. Okay, if I go back to that picture of Gregson, does he really have a ring around his neck? Can I even tell? Doesn't... no, I don't think so. It's just hard to tell. Huh. Oh, but, Okay. Well, I only have one new statement, so I'm assuming that's the thing I have to, like, contradict. So, I'm assuming show the picture and say it doesn't have... He doesn't have a red ring on his neck? Then it wasn't him. I was so hopeful that there was some sort of, like, prosthesis going on. Like, he had a, like, unreasonably well-made wax disguise made by Madame Tussauds herself or something. Could you imagine? They're all in on it. You know, it's not like Ace Attorney hasn't done that before. So, the day before the body was discovered, Inspector Gregson was taken prisoner while working incognito.
No, it was not like that. It was hardly a prison. It was an invitation to stay. It was only...
However you describe it, there's one glaring inconsistency that remains. You vaguely see a ring. I think that's just his hair. And also, the fact that that worked means that it wasn't a ring.
What inconsistency is this, Counsel?
I would ask the court to look closely at this photograph of the victim, Inspector Gregson. You will see that there's no red ring visible around his neck.
Eh? But that makes no sense. It was me who took the collar off the man in the morning. And I saw the red bruises on his neck, just like I have.
Given that the mark is still clearly visible on this witness's neck, we'd expect to see bruising on the victim who was put in the collar more recently than Mr. De Rossi. I can't believe this is the line of logic which we are going down. Ace Attorney be wildin'. Couldn't be me.
Indeed, that is most peculiar.
But what do we tell you, huh? Huh?
Francisca Von Karma would never do any such thing. Would she? Could she?
We say this from the beginning many times. Oui, Peppino is right. The man in the photograph is somewhat different to the man which we encounters at night.
Stop it! Stop crying! Stop it! Order! 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 I cannot stand it!
It would appear, then, that on the day before the incident, the man who visited the park on Lime Street posing as an incognito inspector was not Inspector Gregson at all.
Objection!
If that's true, however, how do you explain the inspector's identification? This is a genuine identification book issued by Scotland Yard. It's inconceivable that someone could have stolen such an important item from the inspector. Did they commit a separate crime? I don't think they murdered Gregson. I think they took in Daily Vigil, and he willingly came with them with this plan of framing them for the murder. That's what I think. The prosecution made that assertion itself.
And we also know that the inspector had made a note about the Red-Headed League in his diary for that day, which surely means we can't divorce the two events completely.
The inconsistency noted by the defense is most troubling. If it were the real Inspector Gregson whom these two red-headed gentlemen encountered, the fact that no bruising can be seen around his neck defies explanation.
But equally, if they actually encountered an imposter, how did that person come to be in possession of the real inspector's identification?
Does the defense have some plausible explanation, Counsel?
The whole thing defies explanation.
It is for precisely these occasions that we keep meticulous notes in the court record, Mr. Naruhodo.
What do you mean we? The game keeps the notes for me. I just read everything. It's just like me and my job. You think I know how to code? No, I just Google. But here's the pro tip. If you're gonna be a programmer, Googling is the skill that you get hired for. You get paid to write the right code, not just the right code. You dig?
Because those are the facts, and the facts cannot lie.
No. The facts can't lie.
I'm all the night, and know the facts can't lie, and I'm starting to get it right.
Even when they point to something so incredible, it's almost unbelievable. Well, my lord, the true identity of the person who turned up in the park for the Red-Headed League's enrollment is revealed by information in the court record, I believe. There's my trigger word. Triggering me to save, is what I mean. Now. The facts can't lie, but they can skew the truth. The facts can't lie, but they can be interpreted very wrong. And that's when Ace Attorney is at its best.
Very tantalizing, Mr. Naruhodo. So, why don't you help us all to see whatever truth it is that you've apparently seen? Who exactly was this inspector that appeared before Mr. De Rousseau and Mr. De Rossi? An imposter!
He was the key cow.
It was, as Asogi we say in our language of Japanese, a sussy baka. Though it seems incredible, I admit, the undeniable facts point to only one thing. Since no bruising can be seen on the victim's neck, the person who these two red-headed men took prisoner that day could not have been Inspector Gregson. In other words, your whole argument up to now has been a waste of time.
Objection!
No. You can't pull the Baroque on me.
On the contrary, why haven't it finished? What? Nani? There's no bruising on the victim's neck, so the question immediately posed next is...
Can my hips lie? Well, poultry legs are known to be a little bit of a lie sometimes. You know, when you buy chicken at the market, sometimes they do this thing where they, like, fill the chicken with water so that it weighs more, and then it all just evaporates out when you cook it. It's really devious. I think there might be laws against that in the US, but other countries, who knows?
Who exactly was this man in the park on Lime Street found to be carrying Inspector Gregson's identification?
See, that's alright. We tell the same story every time. Whoever this man was, the capo dragged him from a pillar to a post with the dog collar.
Mon Dieu, Peppino, I was not so harsh as you say, huh?
So who was it the false inspector, eh? Who was he?
Inspector Gadget? Nah. More like Inspector... Not real. That never happened.
Clearly, the defense has an idea about that. About the true identity of the man these two imprisoned that night.
Improv skill number 542. When a joke is bad, you own it. You turn it into its own joke.
I must ask the counsel for the defense to elaborate post-haste. Who did the witnesses encounter in the park posing as Inspector Gregson?
Clearly, it was Sholmes. No. Just going by the people who could have literally been there at all, that don't have an alibi. They said it was somebody younger. At least younger looking. And, you know, the fact that pretty much everyone in the entire court record either is accounted for or probably looking older than Gregson, I'm gonna say they saw Daily Vigil.
Take that!
It's surely no secret. This is the identity of the imposter. Oh, really? On what grounds?
On the grounds that I really thought it was.
Well, I said it was no secret, but that part is.
Dear me. If ever a penalty was in order, it's now, I feel.
Like the punishment, the capo can lend you his collar if you want, huh?
No, I do not want that punishment, please.
Perhaps my learned friend needs to experience what it feels like to be dragged around the streets by the neck.
I'll use my imagination, thanks.
Well, Mr. Naruhodo, the red ring produced by the color is clearly the crux of the matter here.
Bruising around the neck. Okay, let me think. Is there anybody we know who had bruising around their neck? Oh, wait, I didn't notice this before. Wait, okay, so forgive me, we were talking about, or rather, I have not played this game in over a week, so I forgot if Gossip at all talked about the bruise on his neck, but hey, just looking at his picture.
Take that!
Goodness me! Isn't that...
One of the witnesses who was in the stand in this very courtroom earlier today.
For me, it was Tuesday. Literally, it was not even last Tuesday, last Tuesday.
A nameless man whose only occupation appears to be peddling hearsay to passers-by.
Objection!
What? Gossip? You know, they didn't mention his lip at all. His thick lip. Very, very supple. What on earth would a street seller be doing with a police inspector's identification papers? Witnesses, is this man the man or not? Oh? Wait. Well, wait, what? What has happened to his lip? Huh?
See, this man is not for the red-headed league, eh? Here's a looking for the twisted lip league, you know?
I mean, I wasn't gonna say it. Perhaps rather than making such a rash claim next time, you should bite your lip instead. No! I'm keeping my upper lip stiff. It seems improbable, yes, but one undeniable fact remains. During his testimony earlier, I noted something around the man's neck. A red ring of bruising. What's the item description for that in Dungeons and Dragons, huh? You wear it and it just makes your skin bleed. Ugh. The defense demands that Mr. Gossip be brought back to the stand.
Order! Order! Bailiff! Bring the aforementioned witness back to the courtroom. Immediately!
You're telling me that a shrimp fried this rice? You're telling me that Gossip was actually an important character? That's not something to be proud of.
Well, I never. An undeniable ring of bruising indeed. And identical to that of the witness beside him.
Oh, I have to remember how to do his voice. Okay, let me just, find a clip of Usopp. This time I'm actually gonna make a freaking good... I'm gonna make an attempt to match how he sounds.
With the easy. Judging me, not a problem. I can fix that easy. Judging by that last trajectory, this should be about right.
Yeah, that is definitely the former voice of Sonic.
Judging by that last trajectory, this seems to be about right. Well, what's going on here, eh? I've always had this, me. It's a birthmark, isn't it?
Birthmark, you say? I assume the reason you've been recalled to the stand has been explained to you.
Something about an inspector again? But I'm telling you, you got it all wrong as usual.
You're denying all knowledge of it.
Well, of course I am. Are you trying to kill me with all this nonsense, eh?
Well, at least you'll have more stories to peddle back on Fresno Street, won't you? Now, we were going to need you to testify again. And you, Mr. De Rousseau and Mr. De Rossi, I'm sure you'll cooperate, won't you? Do we have any choice?
We are in a big trouble, like capo. 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 Capo.
Capo doesn't sound like a real word anymore. I know that's the word for the thing you put on a guitar to make it, change key.
That's quite enough dilatory chatter. Proceed with the testimony.
We won't want to dilate anymore. My eyes are already wide. Gossip suddenly looks like someone else. He sure does. I hadn't really thought about it that much. But now that I look at his hair, and just what little I can see about his eyebrows, the inspector and the identification were visited. The man who claimed to be an inspector that day was definitely not this man.
He's right. See, you'd think we would have forget those grand lips, huh?
Grand.
Grand? I never leave Fresno Street, all right? I have no interest in any red-headed league. I'm all alone in the world, mate. I've no kinfolk or nothing. Why would I be involved in something like that? Just look at me, eh? Does it look like I could carry off a disguise with a face like this?
Sir, you are clearly, taping 2 hot dogs to your face or something.
It would appear, certainly, that we had the wrong man.
What have I been telling you, huh? There was no need for this pointless testimony.
Oh, that's right. I'm just a simple peddler, remember? Fresno Street's all I know. How would I have come by a police inspector's identification book, eh? Yes, that's hard to explain, but...
A brief cross-examination, I think, Counsel. Very brief.
Oh, isn't there anyone in this courtroom who thinks I might be onto something? How about you? What was your name again? Chunosuke? Chusuke? You believe in me, right? Little mousy fella? Ha ha! No, I don't! I stand steadfastly at your side as always, Mr. Naruhodo. Thank you, Susato. You are the light we need in this world of darkness.
Darkness.
Hold it! So you say, but how can you be quite so certain?
There is no need to hurt your hands on the desk, monsieur.
Well, I'm wearing gloves.
Surely the reason is obvious, no?
You think, they must have, like, weighted gloves. The way that you have to have, like, padding in boxing gloves because it actually protects your hands while actually making the punches more effective. Like, they must have weighted gloves for slapping onto the desk so it makes the sound louder. Makes their objections more forceful. I heard a certain saying about law, and that is, basically, if the facts are on your side, pound the facts. If the law is on your side, pound the law. And if neither are on your side, you pound the table.
I have never seen before lips like this.
Nevertheless, there's a clear red mark around Mr. Gossip's neck. It looks very much like that left behind on the neck of your colleague by your priced cola. Watch his West Wing confirmed. Is that from that? I just heard it on, like, a random law Reddit post. I don't even know why I was had anything to do with reading law Reddits.
Mon Dieu, with your words, it is like you tried to wring my neck.
It does look very much like my neck, though, eh? Just an odd fellow. No, this is a birthmark, lad. The biggest lips in London and a neck to die for. Aye, they broke the mold when they made me. I think the mold might have already been broken when you were cast.
For the first time in my life, I feel lucky to have been born with red hair.
Red hair is cool, though. I thought being Japanese made you stand out in London. That's Gossip Boy for you. So what, did he just, like, take a bee and just go to give himself a disguise?
So, you maintain that you've never seen this man before? Oui, c'est ça. I swear to it by the flames of my hair.
So fierce pride has outgrown the frustration with your hair now, has it? Aaron Sorkin loves those kinds of saying. Comes from... Okay. Huh. Hold it! Well, yes, I don't imagine I'll forget those lips in a hurry either. Personally, you're soulless.
What?
That is what I am saying. For some reason, it makes me want to eat. How did Fabian call it? An eclair. You know, I've never seen the hair that's black as yours before either. Very deep. Likewise, I'd never seen red hair like yours until I came to Britain. Or until I watched anime. See, maybe it is a nationality trait, huh? Maybe all the people from this man's country have the grand lips. No, lad, I was born right here on Fresno Street. I've never left. Oof, that is the problem, you see? So you definitely didn't go to the park on Lime Street that day, Mr. Gossip. Now, how many times do you want me to say it, eh? I never leave Fresno Street, all right? I've no interest in any red-headed league.
Hold it!
So, you'd heard of the Red-Headed League, have you? You don't get a name like Gossip for nothing, eh? It's my business to know exactly what's going on in town. I sold that tasty tidbit to a fair few redheads that came past me. Just between us, I even got a sandwich to cough up for it. But just claim that his hair used to be red? Well, he does have a very red nose, if that counts. Man's got an eternal cold. Who knows? But as you can see, my own ass got not a hint of red in it. In it? And in any case, Fresno Street's my patch. You won't catch me sidling off to some other part of town.
Is that so?
Is that so? No, sir, not likely. I see. As it happens, after I sold Sandwich that little tidbit about the Red-Headed League, just a little bit. How much gossip can you collect not leaving a street? He's very, very thorough about that one street. Anything that happens on it, if even a mouse takes a crap on a square centimeter of it, he knows exactly where. And he knows what the mouse ate for breakfast, too. He's that good. He went and got himself some red paint from somewhere. God only knows where, mind. But just between us, he didn't have the gumption to dunk his head in it. What was he saying? Sandwich got the red paint? Oh.
Hold it!
He's alone in the world. You mean you have no family? No, not at all. Claiming to be a street rat? Gina's right here. How dare you, sir? So I spend my days on Fresno Street peddling tidbits to passers-by. Hoping just between us, this is that eventually someone with lips like mine will come along. Well, if there's anything I can say about this man, he's definitely got loose lips. I don't think so. You may be right. Literal. Anyway, that mark on your neck is just too much of a coincidence for us to ignore. Well, what's a fella to do then, eh? If you don't believe me, we're in an impasse. There's nothing I can do but flick me lip. Looks like I'm not going to get anywhere here unless I can produce some proof. Or unless, I press that thought that Mr. D. Rouge had. You're basically saying I've got dressed up and posed as some fancy inspector, aren't you? Well, it's beyond me how you think I could do that. So this statement was the one I needed to press for more information. Got it. Just look at me, eh? Doesn't look like I could carry off a disguise with a face like this. Disguised as a clown, maybe. Maybe you could. Say, with a mustache or a beard to cover up that lip. Okay. You know what kind of beard you could possibly have? What if you took this beard? This one right here. That looks more like a wig. But hold on. There. Oh, now I see what you're saying. Just right there. Aye, perhaps. If I was going to stick some fake facial hair on to cover up this fine specimen, I'd end up looking like his lordship over there, wouldn't I? You definitely look like a judge. Look at him. Majestic. Alright, time to shave. Zzz. Maybe? His beard has a beard. That's how grand his lordship is. Sweet.
Pardon? I assume my lips are entirely unremarkable.
He's right.
And I would ask you not to catch such scrutinizing looks in my direction, Counsel.
Actually looks good on the judge. It does. Like, the symmetry matches his existing beard. He's pioneering some new style out here. Sorry, my lord. My imagination got the better of me there. We were seeing what Naruhodo was seeing in his head.
Well, Inspector Gregson did wear a mustache, of course. You're right, he did. Now, the game is saying, like, wear in the sense that he had one grown, not like he had a fake one. No, it was his actual mustache, I'm assuming. So perhaps he was hiding something himself. He could barely have hidden a crumb in a mustache of that size. And anyways, the detective we spoke with has no facial hair at all.
See, the capo's right. He was a cleaner shaven.
It certainly seems beyond the realms of possibility that this witness could have disguised himself as the victim.
Aye, it does and it is.
But it's not. Is it? Really? No. Yes? Maybe. Aye? That's the extent of their testimony, is it?
What's your feeling, Mr. Naruhodo?
I'm kinda hungry. All this talk of Inspector Gregson makes me want some fish and chips.
No, what's your feeling on the case?
Oh. I mean, I actually am hungry.
The dude was eating spaghetti. The case, Naruhodo.
Okay, fine. Well, what Mr. Gossip says is undeniable. It would be all but impossible to hide those lips with any form of disguise.
Perhaps yes, but nevertheless, the mark around his neck is equally undeniable.
It's identical to the one Mr. De Rossi suffered. That's true. Why does the disguise idea just keep playing on my mind? Maybe... Okay, let me just press the statement I needed to. Maybe, like, Gossip was trying to join the Red-Headed League, and turns out he is allergic to red hair dye, and it just caused his lips to just... Worth thinking about. You are not a clown, you are the entire circus. Wait, was that not it? Okay, third statement then.
Hold it!
Let's go!
Is that so?
Is that so? I missed it! Oops! Wait, no, he's still going. No, now I missed it! I'm going too fast.
Hold it!
I'm going Sonic speed!
Is that so?
Is that so?
Excuse me.
Mr. De Rousseau!
Oi! Oh! Ah! Oui? Can I help you?
No, we're on the Nintendo Switch, not the Wii. Did Mr. Gossip's words just now lead you to remember something relevant, perhaps? Oh, I love this song so much. Look, you can see a mark on his nose where the glasses would have clipped on. That's what I was saying. Like, just to stay on by physics and clipping alone, those can't be comfortable.
It was the other day when I was looking for a place near the park. A small house or something. To be the headquarters of your Red-Headed League, yes. I visited an housing agent on Lime Street, and there I saw him. This man was paying money to the agent.
Oh! Mr. Gossip? With a housing agent? Looks like the street rat is more of a cul-de-sac rat.
He had some kind of contract in his hand, and they were clearly discussing terms.
Oh, no! You're mistaken, chap!
Oh, I never left Fresno Street, me. Like I said before, you're mistaking me for someone else. Someone with the same face.
That's impossible. You said it yourself.
No, the capo's right. I remember it too. He was paying the man with the banknotes.
With notes?
Like I said, that wasn't me. Can't be me. Couldn't be me.
It was a self-report.
I was curious why this man with the dirty clothes had so much money.
It comes from saving all those dry cleaning fees, apparently.
So I took the name on the papers.
And what name was written? Mr. Gossip? Vigil.
No, this man, he lies. He tells you that he has no name. But in fact, his name is Oh! His name is a Hugh Boone, huh? He's better than Mr. Gossip, I think. See?
No!
I'm a peddler of tidbits of information, like I said, on Fresno Street. And that's that. I don't much like folk talking about my personal life.
Indeed.
Yelled so loud. I think Rousseau and Rusty are stone cold.
And it is not the intention of the court to invade the privacy of witnesses. Very well, I shall respect your wishes, sir.
Hugh Boone, the same person who owned the flat that had the conspiracy board and Greg's body and... Don't do that!
The aforementioned name shall be redacted from all court records of this trial, assuming no objections.
Object, yes! I'm sorry, my lord. But the defense does object. I find it very objectionable, because the name just mentioned has a very deep significance to this case.
Good gracious! Do you similarly object, Prosecutor Yasugi?
As it happens, my lord, that particular name has already been mentioned during today's proceedings.
See, I would put it past the judge in regular Ace Attorney to just totally forget that the name has already come by. But this one? Really?
Well, I never. In what capacity?
Hugh Boone. The name of the leaseholder of the room. Let me put this very simply. The victim's body was discovered in your rented room. He's not surprised.
I suggest, sir, that you start talking.
Well, all right. I suppose that might be the case, eh? Suppose. That smile of yours hides something sinister behind all that lip flesh. And I'm itching to find out. As itchy as your lips are itchy from the bee sting you did to disguise yourself with it. So your real name is Hugh Boone? The text box confirms it. Right there. Oh, just between us. I don't like to blow me own trumpet. But there's no finer peddler tidbits in town. So I happen to be able to afford a grubby little room in a falling down backstreet townhouse. Mind, a very, very expensive room for its condition.
You do?
Once every 6 months, I go and pay the rent to the agent on Lime Street. Oh, I'll remember it now. There were 2 vulgar redheads in there last time. Hey, if either of us is the vulgar, it's not me.
Think again, Peppino. Why didn't you bring this up before?
It's like I told you already. I don't like talking about my personal life. I'm a tidbit peddler as far as everyone else is concerned. No fuss.
No. No.
No.
You will update your testimony to include this most surprising revelation, Mr. Boone.
If I must.
So, the leaseholder Scotland Yard has been looking for since the body was discovered has been here under our noses all along.
Was wondering when the game would get to that. You know, I was thinking between the last time I streamed this game and now, this game has what feels like a larger proportion of characters that get introduced during trial, and you never see them outside of trial. Like last time, the Bohemian Prince kid and the balloon seller man, or renter man, really. Many Memo, just so many. Usually in Ace Attorney, we get to meet these people outside, talk to them, get their side of the story. But
I think the Great Ace Attorney just in general takes a different approach, which makes it more streamlined. I do like it. I think just ever since the first game, Ace Attorney has had a weird relationship with its 3-day limit thing, which, again, hasn't even been mentioned whether or not it's a thing in Britain here. They're just, you know, keeping to tradition. Aye, I read the rumor the fellow was found is true. For what difference it makes. But I already, yeah, I already... Hold it! Pressed everything else. Ghost Dog, VG, what's up, Aaron? How you doing? What were you playing today? Were you playing more Dragon Quest? I know we were playing something. Oh, Ghost Dog. Good thing you're here, because somebody, Miss Winerib mentioned earlier how Riku could smell darkness in the same way that Ryunosuke here smells perjury. I'm like, I get that reference. Cue Captain America me, because I was watching you play Chain of Memories earlier. In the 3D remake.
Darkness.
I smell it. Okay, question for you, Ghost Dog. What does darkness smell like? I posited it smelled like moldy cheese. So you live in that room, presumably, do you? You just finished The Last of Us 2. Congratulations! Did you like it? Give me an overall, like it, not like it, or, no, was okay with it. I have yet to finish The Last of Us 1, honestly. I should, though. It's on my list. No, I don't live there. What do you think? There's no bed, is there? Just a desk. Perfectly fine to sleep on the floor. Very comfortable. Oh, darkness smells sex. Well, you know. Why do you want to rent it? Why do you want to rent it? I've heard that the standard anime template for evil character that is redeemable is basically they're redeemable if they're hot. Do you agree with this? Well, I don't think I should have to say, really. No! Not me, I'm just a straw hat pirate. Then how about the notice board in there? Which was covered from top to bottom in confidential documents only the police should have had access to. No, that board's not mine. The inspector must have brought it along. Upstairs? There's the only other bits and bobs that belong to me. The desk and the chair and that. People don't generally carry enormous notice boards around with them. Unless they're in Minecraft. Just in their pocket. The real question is, why was Inspector Gregson killed there in your room? No. Careful wording. Why was he found dead in that room? I'm sorry to hear that, Ghost Dog. Well, at least the first one's good. I do wonder what Naughty Dog is going to do with their games. I wonder what direction they're going to take. Because, you know, they're not really allowed to make Crash Bandicoot anymore. They don't have the rights. And, you know, I would like to see a return to Uncharted. It was a good mix of serious but also silly. At least for me. Last of Us definitely took a way darker turn. Obviously, I've not the faintest idea. I mean, it's causing me no end of bother, to be honest. Seems to me that Mr. Boone would rather as little as known about his room as possible for some reason. Yes, it does come across that way. And more importantly, knowing that the scene of the crime is actually his room completely changes things. Unless, you know, I already had an inkling of that. In particular, there's one part of his testimony that's really bothering me now. That's how I'm going to finally undo this man. Oh, undo him, will ya? Just erase him from existence. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Uncharted, Like Thieves, again, and Knuckles, featuring Dante from Devil May Cry. So there's something that he said. Could you carry off the disguise? Hold it! I need to repress everything he said so far. Mustache, lip. Red like Last of Us 2. Seeing through enemies' eyes. I think there's a lot. Usually in video games, I've noticed there's often love or hate. It's either love it or hate it whenever a story is presented through the eyes of not the protagonists. Because it kind of confuses the messaging of how you should feel. Like, I think a lot of times people think, oh, if I'm playing as this person, then clearly I'm supposed to think that they're right. But whether you're playing as the quote-unquote protagonist or whoever, maybe that's not always true. Maybe you should be questioning every character's motives in every game. I'm not saying like, oh, so deep, you really makes you think, huh? I try to take every character in a game as their own kind of thing, whether I'm playing as them or not. Just because I'm telling them how they should act doesn't mean I necessarily condone their actions. Does that make sense? Maybe I just like to separate gameplay and story, because in my mind, those are things that have been separate for so long, for so many years. Okay, I don't get anything new about this testimony. So maybe it's something I have, combined with a statement, makes things different. All over the world, no kinfolk. Let me see. He's Hugh Boone. Do we know anything about Hugh Boone, I wonder? Oh, okay. So if he's saying everything in the room is his, then what is this picture of Daily Vigil's wife?
Objection!
If you have no kinfolk, as you put it, then explain why it is that among the sparse furnishings, you found this photograph in the room? Ah! Don't look at that! I used that picture. For what? To look at, longingly. Because I wish I had a wife. She's not my wife. I mean, whose wife is that? Is she even married? I don't know. I presume that as you've been renting this room, that this photograph belongs to you. Does it not? Well... Mr. Boone, drop the pretense, drop the William pretency, and tell the court... What is this music? Wait. Oh. 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 Uh-huh. And tell the court exactly what is this smooth groove. Exactly who you really are. I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you mean. I'm a peddler. I keep telling you so. You really don't need to bother with me. Please, just leave it alone. As the man says. Leave it alone. Whatever the truth is about this man's life, it has no bearing on this case. No bearing at all. Nope. You have no evidence contrary. Actually. Because it is simply not possible that he impersonated Inspector Gregson.
Objection!
How can you be so sure? Just look at the man. No amount of disguise could ever hide those unmissable features.
Objection!
But what if we'd look at this the other way around? What do you mean? No bears? What? Oh, it's okay, Soul Sapphire. I allow you to be here.
Yes, Counselor, what do you mean?
Well, there's no denying that Mr. Boone's lip is very prominent indeed. But consider the possibility that his prominent lip is itself part of an elaborate disguise. And hiding that prominent feature, in other words, revealing his true face, would make an utterly
impenetrable disguise. Don't give me no lip, Boone. Thank you, Ghost Dog. I know there was a pun there somewhere. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Hugh Boone? Mr. Huge Lips?
Good witness. Are you still hiding the truth from this court?
With that anime pose, obviously.
If that's a disguise, then underneath it, his true identity must be.
Yes, that's right. There's really only one person could really be. So I was right before. Judge, give me back that penalty. My lord, the defense believes it can reveal Mr. Boone's true identity to the court. No, please, no.
Very well then, counsel. What is the true identity of the peddler who goes simply by the name of Gossip on the street? What is his name? What is his quest? And what is his favorite color?
I can tell you one of those things.
Take that!
Your real name is actually Mr. Vigil, isn't it? Mr. Daily Vigil. It's Susato. Wait a minute.
Yeah! I don't recall that name, counsel. Who is this Mr. Vigil?
Well, Judge, it's a long story. He has nothing to do with this case. But I have evidence of him in my inventory. I was waiting to just pull it out, just to, just to flex on Asogi over here. Look, he may be my old friend, but learned, he still needs to be. I'll learn you a thing or two about Ace Attorney. Keep everything in your pockets, Asogi. It's a name I encountered yesterday, my lord. It has to do with a certain client of Mr. Herlock Sholmes. Herlock Sholmes. A young gentlewoman came to the detective asking him to locate her missing husband. Ryunosuke, it's this individual!
Literally who?
The fact that you recognize this name means that it's the correct answer. It wasn't generic dialogue. The woman in this photograph is, in fact, is Mrs. Vigil.
What?
What? Naruto, what are you even talking about? Who is that? What does this have to do with that case? You are pulling things out of your ass. From what I understand, you haven't returned home since the night before this inspector was found dead. He blushy. But of course, on that night, you were being held captive by the two red-headed league men. And last night, you were put up by the prosecution service in preparation for testifying in this trial. Because we've been led to believe that you, Miss Venus, and Mr. Sandwich were homeless. Being important witnesses in this case, we needed to know where we could find you, of course. But puts a new spin on him leading the charge into the building. He needed to create witnesses for the dead body to make it look like the killing happened then. Beautiful. And that explains why you've not only been unable to return home, but also unable to contact your wife. You wouldn't want to have had to kiss her with those lips. Who has been beside herself with worry, waiting for you at the Vigil residence. No, just you hold on a minute. I don't have the what am I talking about? Really? It's a simple enough matter to confirm my suspicions. All we have to do is pull off that disguise. Just give me those lips. No, please.
Bailiff! Bring soap, a sponge, and a washbowl at once. Mr. de Rousseau and Mr. de Rossi, you will restrain the witness.
Why is he telling the other witnesses to do this? Shouldn't that be the bailiff's job? I know they have at least two.
Oui, my lord.
See, my lord. I like how they spread out the dialogue. One, and two.
Stop! Get off, please! No!
Huh. Can I try those on? Makes it more dramatic. Or maybe they didn't want to model any bailiffs. No, they have bailiff models, though. But drama. What's up, Croissant?
Well, we are now seeing your true features, I presume.
Also, he changed clothes. Good thing we had a spare suit.
Lift your head, sir, so the court can see your face.
Man. He cleans up nice, don't he?
It would appear that the defense counsel's assertion was entirely correct.
Bailiff models don't move, they don't got no arms. Okay, fair enough. 5 second the rule! Shoves lips in his mouth. Why, trying to eat him like a fruit gummy? What do you think his lips taste like? What?
This has all been a very elaborate deception. So, witnesses, tell the court, have you seen this man before?
I don't believe it, but...
See, there is no question. This is the inspector we saw at the park.
Gotta go, no problem, William.
Extraordinary!
On the day of the Red-Headed League enrollment, the man claiming to be Inspector Gregson who appeared before Mr. de Rousseau and Mr. de Rossi in the park. His lips taste like lies! The hips don't lie, but the lips do lie.
Was you disguised as the inspector? Or rather,
Was you posing as the inspector in no disguise at all? Mr. Vigil was formerly employed as the chief warder at Barclay Prison.
the chief warder? Then your career had promise. Why, you could quite possibly have become the future governor of the prison. What on earth have you been doing peddling little tattletales on tittle-tattle on Fresno Street?
Well, it's been 10 years since Mr. Vigil worked at the prison.
10 years?
10 years.
10?
Yes, 10.
You're sure it's not 11 or 9?
10 years when you're... Yes, 10 years, the professor case. I'm really dreadfully sorry about all this. Yes, it's true. I am Daily Vigil.
And you were the chief warder at Barclay Prison 10 years ago? So where did Mr. Hugh Boone come from?
Boone is the other me. It's a name I invented. It is my shadow, the true self. Thanks for the hydrate. How you doing, Miku?
Well, evidently there is a great deal under the surface here.
Just in time, too. I'll explain everything. I'll tell you just how wretched my life has become. As you say, it was 10 years ago now that my employment as Barclay's chief warder came to an end. Now, how old is he supposed to be? He definitely still looking good for 40, I will say. Still looks like a teenager, this man. Wait, hold on, wait a minute. Compared to other ages here. He is only 3 years younger than Yujin Mikotoba, 3 years younger than Seishiro Jigoku, older than Baroque Van Zeeks, older than Herlock well, Herlock Shrubs also looks like a baby. Yeah. As you say, it was 10 years ago now that my employment as Barclay's chief warder came to an end.
having left prison service, I searched for some new occupation by which to earn a wage. But times were hard in London, and I found no suitable engagements at all. In desperation one day, I turned my hand at selling wares on Fresno Street.
Lack of facial hair, look baby. Lack of really defining facial features at all.
But your wife appears to know nothing of this.
Your wife looks extremely opulent. Are you providing for your family? Are you in debt?
She still maintains that you were the chief warder at Barclay Prison.
She never, visited and asked for him?
I was utterly determined that my wife should know not of my failings, which is why I never told her.
For 10 years, dude? Living a lie?
That's just sad. I opened an account at the bank under the name of Hugh Boone, and I rented the cheapest room I could find on Fresno Street. The scene of the very crime we're investigating. Yes, that's right.
Queen Miku's work week was hell. Oof. Well, hope you enjoy your weekend, eh? As the only thing you can enjoy, at the very least.
A place from which I could emerge every morning at 8 as a squalid peddler, and transform myself back every evening at 5 into a well-dressed man about town before returning home. That quickly became my daily routine. I was puzzled by the lack of furniture in the room, but that explains it.
He doesn't actually live there, that's just his base.
But why on earth didn't you just tell us this in the first place? I have a wife, sir, and 2 sons.
2 sons! You're providing for all of them! As a peddler.
And without wishing to sound self-conceited, they regard me with some pride. I couldn't bring myself to disappoint them.
So instead you decided to conceal your occupation from them?
Yes. I've made such a terrible mess of everything. Still, one thing doesn't add up. No matter how many tidbits of information you could sell to passing gentlemen, even at 6 pence apiece, you couldn't hope to match the salary you must have commanded as chief warder at the prison.
That's what I'm wondering.
Very true. To have kept your family in comfort despite 10 years of somewhat misbegotten employment.
What's the deal? Selling bodies on the black market?
Oh. That was all thanks to Inspector Gregson.
What? Inspector Gregson? What on earth?
It was some years after I'd invented Boone and begun my other life as a street seller. The inspector, that is, recognized me one day.
You mean to say the victim was an acquaintance of yours?
Well... actually, never mind. I thought I had a picture of that.
I knew him from my time working at the prison.
What was your plan, man? Just hoping nobody would recognize you at all?
But when he saw what I had become, he was deeply troubled for me and my family. And from that day forward, he visited me on Fresno Street with increasing regularity. Then one day...
Whoa. That is a nice gesture. How do you do that? Let me just... I'm trying to replicate it. I'm not sure where my arms go.
Then one day, he asked me if I would carry out a secret assignment for him.
A secret?
A secret?
Dexter's secret? What was it?
I was to impersonate the inspector.
What? Impersonate him?
Gregson's... Wait. So he wasn't just taking his identity because he killed him? Did he not kill him? Oh, there's more to this than I could have ever thought. That would probably explain why this case isn't over in one day. Like, no way. Not after the last one was multiple days.
We always met in that little room so the inspector could brief me. Visit Orxie's tomorrow. Visit Orxie's tomorrow and take a statement from the proprietress, is what he said. It was always something along those lines. Surveillance work, surveillance, interviewing people. On those occasions, he would lend me his identification so people would believe who I was. My instructions were to make an impression, to let people know that Inspector Gregson had been at work.
So that's why that's why Gregson is so famous for being like all over the place with his investigations. He was basically acting as two people, or two people acting as him. You know? I'm just gonna say this. How do I put this? It's very similar to Big Boss in the Metal Gear series. How he has a legacy of being the greatest soldier of all time, but really it's the fact that he made Outer Base and had all of those soldiers working for him and doing stuff in his name. Like, he himself was nothing that special. He just was a good leader. And some other things that I won't really say because, you know, that's spoilers for Metal Gear Solid 5.
And for those services, he compensated me financially.
That animation concerns you. It's like he's going, I don't think he's gonna do anything dangerous.
Scotland Yard Inspector willingly relinquished his identification into your care with intent to deceive. That, as I'm sure as I need not point out, is a very serious criminal offense.
Hey, it gets results.
But why? What was the point of you impersonating him? I truthfully do not know. All I can say is that the inspector warned me on numerous occasions.
Now remember, Vigil, I need your solemn word.
Aw, Greggy.
You don't blab about this to anyone, alright? Ever. Even if I end up a croaker.
How about that?
In time, he started to bring papers with him to the room as well. It became something of a second office for him.
Huh. Man, I feel sad that this unstoppable duo has now been broken apart.
So in fact, the person who declared himself to be Inspector Gregson at the park on Lime Street was really... Yes, it was me, acting on the inspector's orders. As usual, I removed my bone disguise and then went as instructed to the park, armed with the inspector's identification book. It never occurred to me that the bruise on my neck might give me away.
All coincidences happening to line up. Your wife hadn't gone to Sholmes, and oof. Dang shame. Can we get an F in chat? You were gonna raid? Well, I have a raids disabled. Definitely, so, sorry about that, but welcome on in. Welcome back, Haru.
Well, it would seem that this confession completely destroys the defense's case.
Also kind of destroys yours? Maybe? Like, okay, but what does... I guess as... Okay, now recontextualizing everything that's happened as... Well, I just need an explanation from Mr. Vigil here. Like, you knew Gregson to the point where, like, you were working with him on all his cases. You depended on him. Do you have any idea, any evidence, any testimony that could possibly help point to his killer? Because that means that he brought Sandwich and Venus up to... Question is, did he already know that Gregson was dead or not? That is what destroys my case or not.
Explain yourself, Prosecutor Asuki.
My learned friend's assertion was as follows. The victim was killed at another location on the day before his corpse was discovered, at the hands of those two red-headed League men when they imprisoned the inspector.
Sorry, that requires practice.
But no, that can't be!
Stop it, you're gonna hurt yourself.
After all, it wasn't the inspector who went to the park that day, it was me! Oh, goodness! Finally, we have clarity.
I forgot they were here.
We had nothing to do with the murder of the inspector. And merci, Monsieur de la Defense, for proving it. Ow!
Darn, hold on, you're gonna give yourself a concussion with as many times as you bang yourself on the on the back wall there.
Order! 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 Indeed, it would appear that we have reached a de facto conclusion of sorts. These witnesses had no involvement in the murder of the victim, as proven somewhat ironically by the defense. I hereby call an end to the cross-examination.
Hold it!
Hey!
Natsuki! I love you! Thank you!
So we're just pulling an Edgeworth now. Edgeworth did the exact same thing in the first game. Excuse me, is the prosecution objecting? I was about to rule in their favor.
Pardon me, my lord, but with your permission, I would like to pose one further question to the witness.
Cosma.
What question, counsel?
It concerns the events of 10 years ago.
Oh.
I believe you would have been present at a very significant execution that was carried out at the time.
No, he just wants his own information. Never mind.
What, you thought I was gonna help you, Naruhodo? Ha! I just want to know more about my father. 10 years ago?
Revival of the Prosecutor. That's the name of the theme, huh? I think we've heard it once before. I am freaking loving the integration of Kazuma's theme in this. All this good music coming from this case. If this game has a soundtrack out on CD, even better yet, if it has it out on vinyl, somebody link it to me so I may purchase it 10 times. Such drama. Such drama for a court hearing. Well, I mean, it's a murder mystery game in a courtroom. Of course it's gonna be drama. Sorry, I didn't mean to phrase that in a mean way. I'm just saying, drama abounds. Speed Miku, you should check out the rest of the Ace Attorney series. It is just as silly. I love it.
The execution of the professor, Kenshin Asogi. I want to know exactly what your involvement was.
Oh.
Answer me, man.
Huh?
One moment, counsel. Is this related to the current case? Sure, of course. Naturally.
It is the prosecution's belief that this case and the events of 10 years ago are inextricably linked.
Nah, Kazuma, do you want to go down that rabbit hole? Do I need to start, like, taking boat renter house people out of their shacks and calling them Yanni Yogi?
Does the defense concur, counsel?
If it gets me information, yes, please.
Kazuma, you're not yourself. You're not as calm and collected as usual.
And that's not the amnesia. He remembers who he is.
No, about his dad.
Oh, Kazuma-sama. No wonder he's acting this way. There's no physical soundtrack. The whole OST is on Spotify. Oh. I do have the collector's edition of Great Ace Attorney 1 on 3DS, and it came with a soundtrack CD, but I'm assuming it only has songs from the first game. I wasn't able to get the collector's edition of Gyakuten Dayaku Tensai 1 too, so if that came with a CD, I have no access to that now.
Mr. Vigil's memories of what happened 10 years ago would tell the tale of Genshin Asuki's last moments. His own father.
I know. I do understand that, but even so... Prosecutor Asuki.
Do you genuinely believe
That this question requires an answer in order to learn the truth behind Inspector Gregson's death. I need you to trust me. Please. When have I ever not? Very well. Then the defense has no objection.
I see. In that case, you will answer the question, witness.
The truth is, I remember very little of that time.
You've forgotten?
I'm sorry to say, yes. As I said, I resigned from my role at the prison 10 years ago. But for some peculiar reason, my memory of the events leading up to that moment is extremely hazy.
Maybe he was drugged?
Does that not strike you as strange, Mr. Naruhodo?
Sorry?
Well, 10 years is a long time, but to have forgotten the reason why he left such an important job.
Yes, you're right. And not only that, Mr. Vigil's claim contradicts what we already know. The human spirit is a fragile thing. It's broken all too easily, which is why we have a tendency to wrap it up for protection. He's protecting himself from his trauma?
Sorry, the human spirit? I'm afraid I don't understand what you mean.
When we experience pain and suffering that we feel unable to bear, we block it out, obliterate it from our memories, seal it away. But it never truly leaves us. So what you're saying is I gotta open a Psychonaut door portal, enter your mind, uncover the Milkman conspiracy. I am the Milkman, my milk is delicious. Punch a couple of rainbow squirts, punch the rainbow squirt Scoutmaster, and we're Gucci? If the seal is broken, the memories resurface. And when they do, that fragile spirit may finally be crushed. Don't crush him! But I really don't. It's a poetry thing. Don't worry about it, Vigil. Cosmo's just like that.
Kazuma-sama.
Yeah, but if it must be crushed, then so be it. Because the truth will not stay buried. It's coming out, one way or another.
Ruthless. Right. Now I understand. It's clear what his intentions are. He means to expose the truth at any cost. Cosmo, when did you become so cutthroat? Did I just say my own thoughts in a British accent? Cool. Perhaps if I pointed out the contradiction in what Mr. Vigil claimed earlier, it might cause some crucial memories to return to him. But should I? Should I present the evidence or not? Yes.
Do it. Get him. Crush him.
To shreds, you say? I have no idea how this is going to go. But this is a court of law, and I have a duty to pursue the truth. Mr. Vigil, I'd like you to look at this evidence, not photograph, that clearly contradicts your version of events. Clause 132, whatever that is. Something really, really bad happened. Something, I don't know.
Thank you.
Take that! Break his psych locks. Like, even though he don't got a Magatama, essentially there are psych locks. He doesn't know he's breaking them. He's just trusting his instincts. His great-great-great-great-grandson needed a little bit of help. Kaito Yahiko, murder me with this song. Killing me softly with his song. Just a few moments ago, you made the following statement. I resigned from my role at the prison 10 years ago.
Well, yes.
In other words, you claim to have left the post of chief warder of your own volition, but you were fired.
Well, yes, of course. Why?
Tell me. Tell me why. Do you remember seeing this document before?
No, I don't.
This is a dismissal notice ordering the immediate termination of a prison staff member's employment.
A dismissal notice.
He really just fooled himself into thinking he left of his own free will and then didn't bring himself to tell his wife.
Huh. The name on the notice is yours, Mr. Vigil.
What?
What? It's mine?
You know. Okay. Riddle me this. What if he was resigned, he was fired. He doesn't remember it because maybe he was actually drugged out and hidden somewhere while someone else impersonated him in order to get him fired. You got a twin or something? Check the fingerprints.
So, you didn't resign from that prison service at all. For some reason, you were dismissed as chief warder from Barclay.
No, there's been some mistake. I'm sure I tendered my resignation. This dismissal notice is nonsense. Isn't it?
No, he's repressing it. He really is.
Mr. Vigil? Oh, listen to this song. If this game had Cyclops, I'd imagine this would be the theme. Or maybe this is the theme of Ryunosuke smelling perjury. Yes, like the scent of fresh lemons you see.
If you were forcibly dismissed, there must have been some good reason. Clearly, you did something. Mr. Vigil, it is time to break the seal and have you remember.
Sogi, do you want to go down this path? Are you sure about this?
According to the few remaining records, the final execution that you supervised was on 17th of June, 10 years ago. And on that day,
Wow, he was prepared.
something very serious took place at Barclay Prison.
Oh.
17th of June.
Was that the professor's execution?
Oh, Professor! As you were the chief warder at the time, it stands to reason that you would have been present throughout the proceedings.
It does sound familiar.
And yet, that execution never took place. The convict, ostensibly executed earlier that day, later re-emerged from his grave.
The convict came back to life?
In the cemetery in the middle of the night, there was a witness.
However, the witness claims that a moment after he saw the convict clambering out of his grave,
Bang!
a gunshot rang out from over his shoulder. And the bullet pierced the professor's chest, killing him instantly.
Please shoot me in the chest, killing me instantly. Don't.
Those may have been the professor's actual last moments.
Yes.
Seeing as you were in charge of overseeing executions at the time, you must know the truth about what really happened. It's in your head, somewhere, deep down. Well, Chief Warder Daily Vigil,
I know there are memories in your head that can explain what happened on 17th June 10 years ago. And now it's time for you to drag them up.
Mr. Vigil?
Yes. The whole prison. It was complete chaos. The prisoner escaped. He was killed in the cemetery. Shocking news ripped through Barclay like a hurricane.
What?
What?
Order! 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 Do you mean to say, Mr. Vigil, that your memories of the time have returned?
My head is... It's like some floodgates have been opened. The images, the screams.
Congratulations, Kazuma. You must have given this man PTSD.
Oh my goodness! The papers. There were reports, articles about a man who'd seen a ghost.
Yes, ManokAdobo. Robot Man.
But surely those reports were exaggerated.
There were traces at the scene.
Traces of what?
In Burgate Cemetery at plot 139. Blood. Lots of blood. That's where the man was buried, of course. Obviously, something terrible had happened there.
The depths of conspiracy and depravity from which this tale is emerging are quite staggering.
I've reviewed the police reports from that time extensively. A thorough investigation was conducted by Scotland Yard to ascertain how the convict managed to escape in the first place. And the conclusion reached by the investigating team was that a member of the prison staff must have been involved.
Are you suggesting that a prison warder abetted this man's bid for freedom?
You'll feel bad for him. I do. Kazuma is like ripping into him. Like, I can understand why. For all he knows, this man is like not responsible for his father's death, but an accomplice in his misdeeds. It's hard to say without knowing how exactly Kazuma feels about his own father. But either way, this man has had it repressed inside himself for 10 whole dang years. It's not healthy. His way of life, not healthy. Just the way I eat fish and chips, not healthy.
Yes, and I was suspected of doing it. Of using that mass murderer's execution as a way to help him escape.
You did what?
I remember now. The horror of it all is coming back to me. One evening, a few days after the executions, some detectives came back to the prison. I was called to the governor's office at the top of the watchtower.
I'm sorry, Daly. This is a serious business, but I gotta help you now. As chief warder, you were responsible for overseeing the execution of all, eh? Well, it seems the fellas at Scotland Yard won't have a few wee words with you about it. You'd better pack your things, laddie. You're to attend in person.
Let the man breathe. As soon as he told me that, my mind just went completely blank. And the next thing I knew,
Professor, the most hated killer in our country's history.
Professor, the most hated killer in our country's history. And I let him escape. I'm finished. My life is over.
Give this man a hug. Give this man a respirator. Yo, CPR, something.
Order! Order! Bailiff, fetch a doctor at once!
I'll say, hello? Yo, is he breathing? Someone, count his pulse. Don't just stand there.
Court is adjourned for today with immediate effect. Immediate effect.
Paramedics, anyone, please.
So, with Mr. Vigil's collapse, proceedings came to an abrupt end for the day. Once again overshadowed by the legacy of that notorious killer, appearing like a cursed ghost ship on a foggy ocean. Lord Van Zieks, Mr. Vigil, Kazuma, and Gregson.
Or Greggy.
All of them bound by invisible chains anchored to the same wreckage in the murky depths of the past.
Invisible chains, like Cyclops? You're thinking, if anything, those would have been the equivalent of Black Cyclops? I think so. Secrets kept so deep, not even they know they were keeping them.
But the miraculous light that had been trying to cut through the gloom and shine on those tragic events was playing on the edges of the truth at last.
God dang! I knew it couldn't be over, but great Ace Attorney! Oh, mwah! Beautiful, beautiful. I am so sorry for Mr. Daily Vigil here. He didn't deserve any of this to happen to him. There must have been some sort of mastermind behind it all, orchestrating this all. I don't know what to believe anymore. I don't know how much of the professor's murder spree was actually, like, even his own doing. I don't know how much Mr. Vigil, like, was or was not an accomplice to this escape. We're just gonna have to play more to find out. I just can't imagine where this is going, and that makes me super excited. This game, I'll say it before, I'll say it again. Probably some of my favorite writing in all the Ace Attorney series so far. It's just such a shame that it's not a mainline game. Yo, where's this in Ace Attorney 5? Can I have that, please? You know what? I should stop ragging on Ace Attorney 5 so much. What we need to do is praise a game where praise is due. And be happy, be very glad that this game finally came to the US. It is wonderful! And with that, we have a natural break. You know, if this was a normal Friday, I'd go for longer, but I'm very tired this week. I think this is a nice place to leave it. I'll decide whether or not I play this, whether I keep it a Thursday, Friday game or put it back on Monday, Tuesday. But keep an eye out on the schedule. You'll see. Also, it's Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. So, I don't know. I don't know what else to say. I just want to keep playing this game. Maybe I will play it on Monday after all. I'll decide it. Yeah, happy fried egg. And happy birthday to me. It was my birthday on Monday, so I'll keep the birthday art up a little bit longer. And I'll take this as a chance to remind everybody, if there's ever any art for the stream, for the chickeny nature of it, or games I played, I'd feel absolutely chuffed as chips, chuffed as fish and chips, if you submit it to the Discord or tweet it at me, and I put it up. Maybe something I would, if it wasn't a spoiler, I would love to put something in like honor of Inspector Gregson. He didn't deserve to be caught up in all of this. Or maybe he did. I don't know anymore. It's just... who would have guessed? After all this time, introducing the first game, he'd end up dying. Killing off a major character? You know, I'm glad this isn't a mainline game, or else that might have happened to Detective Gumshoe. I cannot. He is a pure being, and he deserves to live. No art today, but as always, if you haven't already, follow me on Twitch to catch me live next time I play this or any other game. There's also the YouTube for past VODs if you need to catch up. Twitter and Discord for updates. And yeah. I'll let you know if I play Deltarune Chapter 2 on Sunday. But, as always, everybody, if you're going to sleep, have a good night. I'll see you around. Have a good weekend. I'll take pictures of all the sushi I eat on Saturday for my birthday. And, stay clucky, everybody!